Hello, thank you for joining me. Hello, isn't that a great video? The Malibu Collection. This live, we're doing beach-inspired nail art, and I'm using a lot of the Malibu Collection, so I thought that'd be a fun video to show you guys. My name is Chelsea Bart. I am an OPI Global Top Artist. I have been a nail technician for 19 years, and I have been with OPI for about 9 years. And I am from Victoria, BC, Canada, so thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing these 3 looks. And the first one has some little 3D starfish. We're going to be playing around with our gel color and powder perfection combo to create this soft 3D gel look. The second one is a very, very easy but 4-colored ombre sunset with some hand-painted palm trees. You can also use stamping for the palm trees if you like. And then the third is a glittery shoreline with some cute little bubbles and a bright, somewhat 3D gel starfish on this one. So let's go ahead and get started with the first look. And this first look today will be this one. We'll start with this one. And right off the bat, we're going to go ahead, this is a tip of course, so I don't have to prep this, but you would want to use your OPI prep step-by-steps on your client, of course, before applying your gel color. Once your prep is fully completed, we're going to start with 1 coat of our Stay Classic base coat. Those prep step-by-steps can be found on the OPI Education app as well as OPI.com if you're looking for those. So we're going to start with 1 thin coat of the Stay Classic base coat. This is our classic base coat in a new packaging. We're going to cap that free edge. And we're going to cure that in the dual light for 30 seconds. After that comes out of the lamp, we're going to use From Dusk Till Dawn. And this is a gorgeous neutral sandy pink with a little bit of blue shimmer sparkle in it. It's super pretty. Love, love, love it. One of my favorite neutrals from this collection, just because I always like to add a little bit of pizzazz. I'm going to add 1 coat of this color. Remember, cap that free edge. We're going to go ahead and cure that in the LED light for 30 seconds. We're going to apply a 2nd coat of color. So this is just doing our normal gel color application. I'm going to apply that 2nd coat, 2 thin coats to get that full coverage color, cap that free edge. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hello. And we're going to cure that again for 30 seconds in the LED light. And when that comes out, you have a couple options here. So this is, again, this is just like our normal application, right? But we could use our Stay Shiny top coat if we want to go in with with a shiny finish. Oh my gosh. Fumbling my words here. But today I'm going to use the matte top coat. And now the starfish are going to be matte because they are powdered. But I just love the effect. Let me see if I can catch that in the light here for you. But I love the effect that a shimmer has when you put a matte top coat on it. I think it's really cute. And I think it's just a fun way to make the starfish pop. So I'm going to go ahead and use the matte top coat. So we apply it just like any other top coat, just a nice thin, even coat. Again, capping that free edge and then curing for 30 seconds. When that comes out of the light, it's not going to look too matte. What we're going to do is we're going to take our NAS 99, which is our 99% isopropyl alcohol nail cleansing solution, and a nail wipe. Then we are going to wipe that sticky tacky layer off, that inhibition layer of the matte top coat off, and that's when you're going to start to see that true matte coat finish. So giving it a good wipe, because when I'm going to start playing with the powder perfection, I don't want to have any of that sticky tacky residue left over for the powder to stick to. So I want to make sure that that's thoroughly cleansed. So just, there we go. Did you see it go matte? Isn't that cool? So it's really pretty with a matte finish on it. I like it. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take out my palette, and this is just a tile. And I'm going to take our second color from the Malibu collection called Coastal Sanctuary. I'm going to apply a little dollop of that onto my palette. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just get ready my clear color set powder from the Powder Perfection line. I'm just going to go ahead and open that up just to get that ready. Set that off to the side. I'm also just using a tip on a stick here as a little scoop. You can use a little spoon or what have you. So from here I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my detail brushes. Let me find it. Okay, I got my little detail brush. And I'm going to start with the Coastal Sanctuary here on my palette. I'm going to dip my detail brush in there, and I'm going to really saturate those bristles here. Okay. And then I'm going to start drawing my starfish. Now I want to keep some of the starfish whole on the nail. So I've got like 2 whole starfish. I've got, you know, pretty much 3/4 of a starfish here, and then I got just one little tiny piece of a starfish there. So I usually like to start with the ones that I know are going to be whole. That's just like me. I just do. And how I'm going to start this design is I'm going to start with one line across like that. I'm going to do right in the middle, we're going to go up from that line, and then from the middle again, but we're going to go out to the side this time here in a V shape, and another side from here. And so then, and from here I can kind of just perfect these. I can make this come out a little bit longer, bring this one up a little bit taller if I have to, but it's good to start with that sort of just base line there and then add to it when needed. I'm going to keep going. Now I'm going to do a second one here. I haven't cured, so I'm going to go with another line here. Again, one coming from the top. And I'm doing these, it is a little thick, it's not super thick. It's just a little bit like of a hint of 3D-ness to it. We want enough product for the powder to stick to it, but we don't want actually too much because we could have troubles curing the gel through the powder, so we want to be careful to not do that. For this one, I'm going to bring it off of the edge of the nail, off this free edge. I'm going to bring this one up here, and this one, and then down. So I'm going to bring this out, I think, a little bit longer. Just playing with them until you're happy. Now you could do this one at a time, and you could apply your powder to one and cure it and then go ahead and do the next one, but you're going to have to brush off the powder between each step, and so I just kind of like to do it all in one go if I can. But if you're new to this and you're just kind of practicing, you can just do one at a time if you need to. So from here, so those are all still wet, they haven't been cured. From here is where I'm going to bring in my powder, crystal clear color set powder, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top of the Coastal Sanctuary, and I'm just going to do a few passes because I really want to make sure that I'm getting lots of powder in there. And then I'm going to tap off the excess, and then we are going to cure that in the LED light for 30 seconds. When that comes out of the light after it's been cured, you're going to just take a little dust brush, something like this, and you're going to dust off that excess powder. And if you have to, you can go over that with some NAS 99 and a lint-free wipe. That's totally fine. And there you have a fun, soft, sandy seashell starfish look. Isn't that cute? I love that. Okay. For the second look is our ombre. And that's this one right here. And this is our sunset ombre. I'm going to be using 4 colors from the Malibu collection. We're going to start with the Sound of Vibrance, Strawberry Waves Forever. This is the hero color for the Malibu collection. We're going to move into PCH Love Song, and PCH stands for Pacific Coastal Highway in California. And then we have Merry Golden Hour, which is a gorgeous yellow from this collection, super bright, super fun. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how to do a really quick ombre and 4-color ombre. I'm just going to go ahead and open up all of these bottles. So from here, I'm going to take my first color that I want at the top near the cuticle, which is the Sound of Vibrance, and I'm going to, just using the width of the brush mostly, I'm going to just apply to the top. Now, if this was a real client, you know, you wouldn't be able to apply side to side like I can with a tip, so you're going to want to push it up like this and bring it down. You might also want to use a little detail brush to get up near the cuticle and apply it in a straight line. That's totally up to you. And then from here, I'm going to take Strawberry Waves Forever. And again, I'm just going to use the side of the brush here, or the width of the brush, to apply the color. PCH Love Song. Right underneath. Touching the Strawberry Waves Forever, that's fine. When I touch it with my brush, I can just take a wipe and wipe it off, and then put it back in the bottle, no problem. And I also spilt a little here, so I'm going to clean that up. And then the last one is the Merry Golden Hour. And I'm going to put that right at the bottom. Again, just up and touching the PCH Love Song. From here, I'm going to grab my ombre brush. And this is what I love about this kind of ombre, because for, you know, something that's in nature like a sunset, it doesn't have to be perfect. Not only do we have, first of all, the shimmers are going to help us get a really quick, easy fade out of it anyways, but I actually really like how the colors sort of have those lines between them. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how the orange is like little lines, and it looks more like a real sunset, or like the reflection of a sunset on water, and that's the look that I like. So I'm gonna go for that, and it's really easy peasy. I'm just using a dry ombre brush, and I'm just gonna start in the purple and go back and forth into the Strawberry Waves Forever. Blends really nice and easy. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off on a wipe, and then do the same thing for the pink to the PCH Love Song. Blending those super quick, super easy. Now, again, if this is a client, you're going to end up getting the product on the skin, so I definitely suggest cleaning it up afterwards, or, you know, you can use the skin barrier liquids that they have out there if you want, and then peel it off later. But definitely clean that up off of the skin before you cure. And then I'm going to do this with the PCH Love Song into the Merry Golden Hour. And isn't that fun? Isn't that easy? Look at how cute that is. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds in the LED light. And then we're going to go ahead and do that a second time. So again, applying the colors, because we do want 2 coats of each one of these colors. So the Sound of Vibrance, now I'm using Strawberry Waves Forever, for those who might just be joining. PCH Love Song, another coat of that, and then Merry Golden Hour. Again, just going up, and you can see I'm kind of going over where the orange was brought down and blended in, and that's perfect. That's actually going to help me create a really nice blend, so no problem. Don't forget to cap the free edge with your last color there. And I'm going to take that dry ombre brush again, and I'm going to go back and forth, starting at the top, from the purple to the pink. Going to wipe that out. Nice clean dry brush again. Blend the pink in with the orange. Wipe that out, and then blend the orange with the yellow again. Sorry, I did that a little bit off camera. Let's do, here, we'll go like this. There you go. So easy peasy back and forth like that, and then we're going to clean the brush out, and we're going to cure that for a full 30 seconds. From here, we're going to apply our top coat. Let me just put these away. So for this one, I'm going to use the Stay Shiny top coat. Oh, sorry, actually, I guess we're going to do the palm trees. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to paint the palm trees on. So from here, put these away, and I'm going to show you guys how I paint my palm trees. So what I'm going to do is take my palette out again. Let's clean this up because we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to take out a little bit of black onyx. Put that on my palette. Little dollop. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of alpine snow. Now you don't have to do this, you can do this entirely with black onyx, but I do like to add a little hint of the alpine snow for a little bit of a highlight and just give it a little, just define the leaves and the palm tree a little bit. So from here, a pro tip for when you're about to hand paint, especially fine details like something like the palm trees, you're going to want to go ahead and wipe this off with NAS 99. So you could put a top coat on this if you want, but you don't have to. We're going to go ahead with NAS 99, and I'm just going to wipe the area where I'm going to be applying my palm trees just to make sure that sticky tacky layer is gone. With that sticky tacky layer gone, I'm going to be able to get super crisp clean lines from my gel now. I'm going to go and grab my detail brush again. And the way that I like to start off with my palm trees is I like to get the bases of the trunks done first so that I kind of know where they're going to live. So I'm going to roll and push my brush through the black onyx to get those bristles nice and saturated and get a nice thin line and thin point. Sorry, I was doing that off camera. I'm doing this, so I'm just pulling my brush through that black onyx to get a nice thin and even coat in my bristles without it being too like globby. And then from here, I'm going to decide where I'm going to place my first one. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to add a lot of pressure because that's where the trunk is thicker. And then I'm going to come up, as I come up in a curve, I can pick up a little bit more product here. As I come up in the curve, I'm going to lessen the pressure, and you can see I begin to just start to use the point of the brush and rather than the whole brush. And that's going to create a nice thin, going to a thinner part of the trunk. So I'm going to do that again on this side, but this side I'm going to bring it out slightly the other way. Now from here, I can flash cure this if I like, and from here I'm going to get the basis of where I know my leaves are going to be. So I'm going to start putting those in, and this is the very sort of very base, very top edge of these palm leaves. I can do the same thing for down here. They're going to be kind of different each time you do them, which is always fun. Then from here, again, I could flash cure that if I wanted to, 15 seconds to keep going. What I'm going to do though, I'm actually going to take a little bit of that product off of my brush, and I'm going to use the product that's already there, and I'm going to drag it down, and just kind of using like a little bit of a dry brushing technique with my brush, and just drag some of those down to create drag some of that product down and create those hanging leaves on the palm tree. Real nice and soft, because we're creating a silhouette here. And remember, we're going to add a little bit more detail in when we get in with the alpine snow. So I'm just going to keep doing this for each one. Is there any questions so far, guys? It's quiet in here. Any questions about anything, either the nail art that I'm doing or gel color questions in general? Please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. So, pulling that. So as you can see from there where I pulled that, you can still see that main line. I haven't pulled all of the product down. So there's still a good definition of that main vein of the palm leaf. And that is where I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. You'd actually flash cure. I'm going to flash cure for 15 seconds actually. So whenever you're doing nail art like this, as I think I've mentioned before, but it's worth mentioning again, you can flash cure for 15 seconds when you're doing these small amounts of hand painting. You can just go ahead and flash cure them. Lets it go a little bit faster, and especially if you're not switching from hand to hand, maybe it's especially helpful. So from here, if I really wanted to add even more depth and dimension, I can go back into my black onyx and I can kind of maybe like really define those edges of the palm with the black onyx. I could do that. I can even, you know, add a few more extra definition leaves down here, like just a little bit more defined, adding the depth and dimension as I go. I'm going to flash cure that because I did add it, so I'll flash cure that real quick for 15 seconds. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the alpine snow now. And when I add the alpine snow, I want to show you guys again just how I drag my brush through, and dragging it through the alpine snow, making sure that I have the bristles well saturated, but that I have a nice thin point, because we don't want too much alpine snow on here. We want to create really nice light highlight. So using the very tip of my brush with almost no pressure, I'm going to go up one side of the palm's trunk, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other palm on this side, just like that. And if it was too thick, if it was thicker than I wanted, I could go in right now and I would take a dry brush and clean up and make it a little bit thinner if that's what I wanted. And then I'm going to do the same thing for each one of these palm leaves. But I'm not going to start in the middle for every single one. I'm going to just kind of highlight the very, very tops of each one. See with that one, it's a little bit wider than I wanted it. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that cleanup brush and I'll show you guys. Just thinning it out a little, taking it a little bit thinner. And for this one, just add a little highlight for each one of these. And again, if I had done the first one, I could flash cure and then go ahead and add to the next one and just keep going. But that's that. We're going to cure that for 15 seconds, and then we're going to apply our Stay Shiny top coat, which I have right here. Our Stay Shiny top coat. This is our original top coat. I don't know if you guys have seen the new packaging. So we have new packaging for our gel color, and I love the new packaging because it's here written on the shoulder, which makes it really nice if you keep your bottles in a drawer. Then you can look down and it's easy to grab, see which one you need. The colors are also, so the top coat has the white shoulder, the base coat has a black shoulder, and our Stay Strong base coat has the gray shoulder. So it's nice and easy, intuitive to grab for the nail technician to help you work a little bit faster, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a Stay Shiny top coat. Now this looks really cool, I think, under a matte top coat as well. But I did test with on my Instagram stories, and everybody preferred the Stop Shiny or the Stay Shiny. So I think because these colors are so vibrant, they deserve that shine. But it can be a really fun effect in matte top coat as well. So that's that. We're going to cure that for 30 seconds and then we're going to wipe that inhibition layer off again with our NaS99 after that comes out of the light. We'll wipe that sticky tacky layer off of that top coat. Don't forget to get under the free edge. And there you have the easy peasy ombre with the hand painted palm trees. Now again, you could use stickers or you could use stamping for the palm trees as well and make it easy on yourself. So do a super quick ombre and then add your stickers or your stamping for something real quick and fun that made it look like it, took forever for you to do. Those are some of my favorite designs when it's quick and easy, but it looks like it was really heavily involved. Those are my favorite. I'm just going to clean up my Powder Perfection here before I knock it over because I tend to knock everything over. Now the last and final look that I'm going to show you guys today is this one, and I'm going to show you how I incorporated some of the glitters and encapsulated it in with the gel color. We're going to do, there's another ombre there as well. We're going to do some hand painting, and then I'm going to show you how I get this kind of 3D effect out of the gel. So first things first, we do have a base coat on this nail. So I have already applied the base coat and cured for 30 seconds. We're going to go ahead and take the colors Do You Take Layaway and Malibu Shore. And Malibu Shore, again, from the Malibu Collection. Do You Take Layaway was from a Hawaiian collection back in, I want to say, was that 2014? I think it was 2014. Anywho, so we're going to take the Do You Take Layaway and we're going to paint from the top of the cuticle line there to about halfway down the nail. Just a nice thin coat like normal. And then we're going to take our Malibu Shore and we're going to paint the bottom half. And I'm just going to butt it up to the Do You Take Layaway. You don't have to completely touch it, but I'm just going to go up and as close as I can. And then I'm going to cap that free edge. And then again, I'm going to just take that easy peasy ombre technique with my dry ombre brush and I'm just going to melt those two together real quick. I don't need it to be perfect. It actually looks even more perfect under the camera, which is great, but it's not super perfect blend, but I don't need it to be because we're going to be, first of all, doing a second coat of this, and then we're going to be adding some glitters and some other colors and stuff, so it's going to be well hidden, so no worries. So we're going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds in the LED light, and then we're going to repeat that process. I'm going to apply Do You Take Layaway? And if you want to, you can overlap. I can pull this down into the blue a little bit. That does help when you are trying to get a good fade. Remember I said I don't really need a good fade, but when you're trying to get a good ombre fade, try overlapping the colors when you apply them. So if you applied, halfway the first time, bring that first color down a little bit further on the second coat and it helps create a really nice seamless blend. And then I'm going to take that dry ombre brush and go back and forth again. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. I'm going to end up curing it for 15 seconds for you guys for the live, but normally you would cure that for 30 seconds because that is a base coverage coat, right? So that's our 2 coats of color that we would normally apply. And from here, this is where I'm going to start to play with some of the colors. We're going to get a little bit of a deeper blue out of this. We're going to play with the glitter. So I'm going to take out my palette again. And this time I'm going to take Do You See What I See? And I just need a small dollop of that. And then I'm going to take my Stay Shiny top coat and I'm going to mix that together. This Do You See What I See is a translucent based color, but I want it to be even more translucent. So I'm going to mix it with the top coat. The reason why I can do this is because all of our colors, all of our gel colors and all of our top coats are 100% gel, and so therefore they can be mixed together, no problem. You can also mix 2 colors together as well and create a custom color or 3 colors, whatever. So gel color mixing can be really, really fun. And I like to mix it with the top coats to create different types of effects and get, like I said, that translucency sometimes that you want out of a certain color. It can be really fun. Not just for nail art, but, you know, for, say for, you know, your French pink color and stuff like that, you can mix a custom color for your clients and make it as opaque or as translucent as they want. I'm going to go ahead and take this brush here, and I'm going to grab my glitter. So this is just like a glitter I think that I bought online somewhere. It just is a fun, nice, like white iridescent glitter that has different sizes in it. So I like that because it adds depth and fun when it's different sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up from my palette, I'm going to pick up this new color, this new translucent blue that I just created, and I'm going to pick that up on a brush, and I'm going to apply it kind of nice and thin, actually. I'm going to do a nice thin coat. Do you see what I see also has a shimmer in it? I don't know if you guys, if the camera's picking that up, but there is a shimmer there as well, which is really fun to add in, of course, to a water look. I'm going to wipe the brush off to get the blue out, and then I'm just going to go directly into, there's enough stickiness on the brush that it's fine, and I'm just going to dip directly into my glitter, and I'm going to pat it into that uncured blue. And I'm just going to pat it down, pick up as little or as much as you want, and I'm going to bring some of it up into the sand. I'm going to bring it a little bit up into the Do You Take Layaway. I don't want to have like a straight line where the glitter stops. I think it's more fun to bring it up a little. From here, we're going to cure for 30 seconds. Again, I'll cure for 15 for the sake of the live. And then we're going to do that one more time. This time we're going to do more of this we're going to do more of the custom color mix. I'm going to go right over top of the glitter now that it's out of the light. I'm going right over top of that glitter. And what that's doing is it's taking that glitter that's in the blue, and to me it's like making it look like it's underwater, you know, because of the translucency and the blue, and it's changing the color a little bit. It's differentiating it between the glitters that are up here in the sand, and then it's really not picking, the camera's not really picking that up, but it is really fun because it gives a lot of depth and dimension to the gel. I'm going to wipe my brush off dry, and I'm just going to make sure that that blue is just a little bit more blended. So I'm just kind of patting it up and bringing it up into the sand just to blend that line a little bit. And if you really, really wanted to, you could add a little bit more glitter. I've got enough on there, I think, but if you hadn't added enough, you could do so right now into that wet blue again. A pro tip for when you're adding glitter like this is to look at it from the side and make sure that you don't see anything sticking up. And if you do see that guy sticking up right there, just with a gloved hand or with your brush, just make sure that it sits back down again. And then that way you won't have to like file or buff it off. It'll sit in the gel nicely. So we're going to cure that. And from here, we're going to add our bubbles. So I'm going real quick, put the glitter away. I'm going to take out my Alpine Snow, and I'm going to put a little dot of that onto the palette. And again, we're going to want to make sure that we take our NAS 99 here, our nail cleansing solution, and we're going to again wipe down. Actually, you can pat it, you can wipe it, whatever you like. I'm gonna pat it just because the glitter is still a little raw. I don't want to like pull at it, but I'm gonna pat and just clean up that sticky tacky layer, the inhibition layer of the gels before trying to draw anything with detail. I'm going to take that detail brush out again. I'm going to again saturate the brush until I have a nice saturation and a thin brush. And I'm just going to start down here on the bottom. We can do, you can just do like a dotting tool and do a full dot. We can do some circles, basically using this brush, very light pressure, and using it almost like a pencil to create my bubbles. And I'm going to do one big one here. And with the big one, I'm going to add like a little half moon shape here just to add that little bubble detail into it. And then we're going to continue on adding a couple more up into the sand area, and make sure that they're different sizes. They can be really small circles, they can be full little dots. You could add a couple extra little dots here if you like as well. So just adding those in, and then we're going to flash cure that for 15 seconds. And then we're going to top coat that, and that's going to seal in everything that we just did, all of our glitter and the hand painted bubbles. It's going to seal that in with top coat, and then we're going to start with our 3D fish, but starfish. I did use a matte top coat. Again, I like sealing in glitters and shimmers with a matte top coat. I think it's a really fun effect. It's a little less expected, and you still get the shimmer and the glitter, but it allows that starfish, because I wanted the starfish to be bright and I wanted it to pop, and using the matte top coat here and then using the Stay Shiny top coat on the starfish and having him shine really just helps him pop against that blue. So we're going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. And then when it comes out, we're going to we'll be ready to do the 3D starfish. So I'll show you guys how I just do the 3D with the gel. I'm going to take PCH Love Song, put that on my palette. And I also used Marigolden Hour as a little bit of like highlighting and adding some detail and different color into him. And then I also used the Alpine Snow. So I'll take another dot of that. And I use the Alpine Snow for his little dots and a little bit of outlining. So that's been cured for 30 seconds. We're going to wipe that sticky tacky layer off the inhibition layer and make sure that that comes up to a nice matte finish. Don't forget the free edge. There we go. See how cool that is, that the glitter, like how it sparkles underneath the matte finish? It's really fun. And the glitter has a lot of depth and dimension with the blue covering it. It's kind of fun. So from here, excuse me, I'm going to do the same idea that I did with these guys. I'm going to start with this shape and then we're going to build from there. So starting with the star shape, I am going to go across. I'm going to start here. I want to show you guys here. The first ones we're going to do this arm to this arm. So we're going to go all the way across here. From one side to the other. And then I'm going to do the top piece. We're going to do this other bottom. And then this one. Now they don't quite much look the same, right? But from here, I'm going to pick up a little bit more so you can see how I have a little bit more gel on it. I'm going to start in the middle because that's where he's the most robust. So we're going to start in the middle and we're going to move it out to each side. Now you want to be careful if this is on a real client, you do want to be careful where you're placing this because you don't want it to flood into the sidewalls or the cuticle. But we're going to bring him out. Give him a little bit longer leg there and there. And then we're going to cure that. I'm going to flash cure for 15 seconds because I can, but you're going to want to give that definitely a full cure of 30 seconds, if not more, because of the thickness that we applied to it, right? And we're going to do that one more time. So you want to make sure that gel is fully cured. Now we have completely sealed in all of this, so before the starfish, so everything before the starfish was completely sealed in. So that will last you 3 weeks. When we add things like this, nail art on top, and you're kind of playing with things like I am playing with the thickness that we're applying and the curing and everything like that, that's the kind of thing that not necessarily guaranteed to last the whole time. But if you give it a really, really good cure, it should be fine. Should be no problem at all. But the actual nail itself will last for those 3 weeks because you did everything according to our step-by-steps, right? So I'm just going to pick up another fairly large amount of the PCH Love Song, and again just placing it in the middle and then dragging it out to each of the legs here. Picking up a little bit more as I go if I have to. And then again, going to cure that. Again, I'll do 15. You make sure you do 30 because it is so thick. And then I'm going to just clean up my brush a little. And I'm going to start to add the highlights with the Marigolden Hour. Just giving him a little bit more of a 3D look and a little bit more depth and dimension. So I'm going to start kind of like with a dry brush. And I'm going to start in the middle here, but I'm going to focus on the top because if I imagine the sun is shining from the top, that's where we want the lightest parts to be. So that's where we want the highlights to come through. So we're going to focus on the top of this arm. We're going to focus on this basically whole arm, the top of the middle here, and the top of this arm. And as you can see, I'm just kind of like, I don't know what the word is actually, but just patting it in. And those, the two gel, because I didn't wipe the inhibition layer off of the gel, they're melting together. And so they're kind of becoming one. They're kind of combining together, and that's what we want because they're blending. And so it's a nice, cute little blend. I'm going to flash cure that for 15 seconds. So remember, if you want your colors to blend, you leave the inhibition layer there, and if you want a nice crisp line, then you're going to remove the inhibition layer. So for the alpine snow, which is our next step, I do want nice crisp lines from that. So I am going to go ahead and wipe off and just sort of dab with the NAS 99. Take that inhibition layer off of there. And I'm going to dip into my alpine snow here with my brush, and I'm going to place some dots around, starting in the middle, but you don't have to, and make sure it's more random. I just did a kind of a big line. If you don't like how you did it, which I don't, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that off with the NAS 99 and try again. So just go a little bit more random this time. There we go. And don't forget to carry some of them down to his little arms, through his arms, here, up. And use different pressures each time that you push, and you'll get a different size dot, which is perfect and more nature-like. And then if you want to do a little bit of highlighting around the edge, you can just go ahead and take that detail brush, and I would just do, again, sort of those top edges, just like that. And it just gives it more of that 3D look. It helps to make it look like it's popping off of the nail a little bit more. Going to go ahead and flash cure that again for 15 seconds, and you can flash cure that for 15 seconds if you're doing it, because again, it's just a very, very small amount of alpine snow. It's nice and thin. It's no problem. We're going to then take our Stay Shiny top coat, and actually I'm going to bring that palette back. I'm going to take my Stay Shiny top coat. I'm going to put a little bit on my palette, because I'm going to apply that directly over the starfish and only the starfish. So I'm just going to take that detail brush again, and I'm going to pick up some of that top coat, again starting in the middle, and I'm just going to bring it out to each arm, just making sure that it's just the starfish that is nice and shiny and covered in top coat. And again, that's just another nice thick layer of gel as well to create that 3D look. And then we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. And when that comes out of the lamp, we're going to take our NAS 99 again. We're going to wipe off that sticky tacky layer off of that starfish. And we are done. Don't forget the free edge there. And there you have the glitter shoreline with a cute little orange starfish on there. Real quick, we'll just do a real little recap here. So we used From Dusk Till Dune. Let me get these colors out so you guys can see them. So we used the Malibu Collection. We used From Dusk Till Dune. We did 2 coats of color of From Dusk Till Dune, and we applied a matte top coat to that. And then we used Coastal Sanctuary to draw our little starfish print on there, and before curing we sprinkled some Powder Perfection clear color set powder on there to give a really fun dusty sandy type texture to it, and we cured that for 30 seconds, and then we dusted off the excess powder, and we have a cute fun sandy 3D look. For this guy we used The Sound of Vibrance, Strawberry Waves Forever, PCH Love Song, and Marigolden Hour with our ombre brush back and forth like this, creating a really easy ombre fade between the 4 colors, curing those, and then hand painting our palm trees with black onyx and alpine snow. And again, remember, you can stamp, you can put stickers, will be really fun as well. And then the third one was doing that same ombre technique with Do You Take Layaway and Malibu Shore, and creating a fun ombre there, and then adding a little bit of Do You See What I See? We mixed with our Stay Shiny top coat to create more translucent effect, and we put that under and over top of those glitters there, and then we hand painted some bubbles. We again covered in a matte top coat, and then we did our 3D starfish using our PCH Love Song and a few layers of that, and some highlighting with Marigolden Hour and Alpine Snow, and then finishing just the starfish off with top coat. So I hope you guys had fun with that. I hope you try these looks or these techniques and make them your own. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much to Wella Canada Education for having me. Thank you OPI for having me. I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day.